We joined Candice Bass-Robinson at Bass Racing to take us through a number of her runners. Some really nice sorts coming up for Hollywood Bets Kenilworth on Saturday, the 22nd of July. Candice, obviously a number of runners. In race one, the Kenilworth welcomes you. It's a maiden juvenile plate. You've got two horses, a first-timer in Essie Picky Picky and Trippy Silk.
Yes, Vicky, two nice horses. Trippy Silk obviously had a run, nice debut run from him. He just needed his run first time out. He's come on nicely from that run. Obviously first time that he's running in the soft. He didn't run in the soft last time. He's a big, tall horse with big, long strides, so hopefully that doesn't affect him too much. If not, he should be in with a chance there, definitely. The other horse, I think, will need the experience first time out. He's a big, long striding horse. He's come on nicely in his work at home, but I think we'll probably be looking for further.
Race two of them, +4 versus Gitrix Cult, and then Roger Ruin. He's up in trip, but still down the straight. Could he improve?
Yeah, it's actually a very nice run from him first time out. He's not a bad little horse. He's still quite immature, Vicky, and not drawn that well. We're drawn right on the outside, so that doesn't help too much. But I think he might need another run or two before he's ready to win. +4, nice horse, lovely colt actually, but not really a 2-year-old type, so kind of kept him as long as I can till the end of the season. He shows lots of ability at home. Probably will need the experience first time out, and I think we'll make a nice 3-year-old when he goes over a bit of ground.
Race 3, Diamond Rock, the 1400 meters. Is he capable of a competitive run over the trip?
I think so, Vicky. He needed his run quite badly last time, and he was drawn badly. He's got a good draw this time round. Looking at the field, he should definitely have a good each way chance there. He's come on nicely at home. His work is good, and very nice, tall, athletic type of horse that's looking for this sort of trip and a bit further, I think. So, yeah, I definitely think he's got a good chance.
And then a lovely sprint race. It almost seems a feature. Race 4 is the Cape Turf Club Syndicate Cape A Stakes. You've got the 3 runners. Garrett's aboard Resonate. He looks to really enjoy the 1100 meters.
He does. I'm not sure that he enjoys the soft. He likes to come off a good pace. He was off for quite some time, so he needed his run quite badly last time. I think he's come on from that run. As I say, I'm not sure whether the soft going suits him from a pace perspective, but he's a much better horse this time and should run a much better race. Fire Ali, I'm not sure about him actually going over this sort of trip, but there hasn't been much for him trip-wise. A mile in this soft going is a little bit too far for him, so got him in a sprint. There doesn't seem to be a huge amount of pace looking at that field, so he could do anything. He's very capable on his day, and as I say, in this type of going over the 1100, you might not find it as short as what he would on the good going, so possibly a money chance for him. And then Mr. Cobbs, not really a winter horse. I think he prefers it when the going's on top and he can come from off the pace, so hard to fancy his chances. He also needed his run last time and should have come on from a fitness point of view, but I'm not sure that he's suited to these conditions.
The Olympic Jewel Stakes is race 5. The 3 runners, Give Me's Lassie, Queen of Sparta and Body Electric. Give Me Lassie, she comes down in class and should be really competitive.
She does, but she's still got a big weight for a 3-year-old, Vicky. She's got to give away a lot of weight to a lot of these older fillies, which is not easy. I think she's a little bit high in the ratings. She does need to come down a bit. Her last couple of runs have not quite been to form. Hard to actually assess her chances here. She put up a nice gallop last week, so I'm hoping that she runs a much better race this time. And I think if she can give away that sort of weight, she shouldn't be too far off them.
And then Queen of Sparta, you've got Gareth up lightweight and also Body Electric. Probably best ignore her last run in PE on the poly.
Yeah, she was drawn wide and she ended up at the back of the field. You can definitely put a line through that run. These are not 2 fillies that I would really have seen in a feature race just yet, but it didn't end up being a very strong race at all. I think it's pretty much just an A-division handicap looking at that field. So, Body Electric has done nothing wrong over this sort of trip. At Kenilworth up the straight, her form is pretty good. So at the weights, she's certainly a filly that could have a small chance there. And same with Queen of Sparta, 12, a little bit on the short side for her, but she's never far off them either. She won a nice race over 14 last time, so maybe in the softer going over the 12, she too, at the weights, she's definitely got a money chance.
The race 6 is the World Sports Betting Iridescent Stakes, so lovely field. You've got Beach Bomb, who steps up over the 1500, and you've also got I call her the Mud Skipper, October Morn, who was so impressive last time.
Yeah, it's a good name for it, Vicky. Actually, yeah, she won extremely impressively last time. So you know that she doesn't mind the soft at all. So that's one bonus. Didn't draw that well. She's drawn 8 out of 8, but it's not a big field. Vicky, she's the obvious horse in the race. She's a very nice filly. I rate her highly. She's a very athletic filly. Obviously, the first time over this sort of trip, and coming from that family, they're mostly sprinting horses. So there's a small question mark over that, but looking at her and watching the way she races, I'm sure that she should get the trip. I'm not too concerned about that. So she's doing well, and I think she must have a good winning chance there. The other filly, Beach Bomb, she won very impressively last time out. It's her second start of asking, and I think she should be looking for this sort of trip too. Also a small little filly, but very athletic. She's drawn well. I think she should have a good chance there. Whether or not she can beat the other filly, I'm not so sure about that, but if not, she certainly will have a money chance.
The final Fling Stakes is race 8. It's over the 1950. 2 runners. Do Angels Cry, obviously an older sort she'll probably move on to stud soon, and then Gold Poker Game. Do you think that she would be the principal Gold Poker Game?
Yeah, Vicky, I'm not sure about either of mine going over this trip in the soft Gold Poker Game. I'm not sure that she quite stays the trip, especially in the soft going. She needed her run very badly last time when we had no tracks, so I can't really make any assessment on that last run. But I think it's tough for her. She's drawn a bit wide too, so not going to be. There's a question mark over the trip and in this going. So can't really fancy either of mine. Do Angels Cry? I think might also just be a touch far for her in the soft going, but it's her last chance before she goes to stud.
Race 9, it's the World Sports Betting Bet with the best class 4. You got the 3 runners. The good old Lunch Money, he steps over with 1400. Michael Faraday, good run last time. And Max the Otter, did he need his last run? Could he return to form?
I think they all did, Vicky, especially Max the Otter. He was off, went to the farm for a break. He and Michael Faraday actually went to the farm for a break. So yes, he did need his last run. I think he'll prefer this trip, 1400, but also might just need one more run before he's back to best. Michael Faraday, good run from him, first run back. He likes to run fresh, and obviously now going a little bit further. If he can bring that last run, or he shows that he's come on from that last run, he could be a factor there. And then Lunch Money, first time going around the turn now. He's got some good sprinting form. He is, however, looking for further, so I don't see the 1400 being a problem. Just obviously first time going around the turn. He's a tricky horse. I know when he first came out to run, I wasn't sure what to expect from him, because he's not always the most honest at home. So I'm hoping that he's not too green around the turn, and that he can travel well enough, because he doesn't really travel that well in a sprint. But I think if he can get that right, he certainly will have a good chance.
Race 10, the Hollywood Bets Bright Future. You've got Flying First and Camille Claudel. Flying First, blinkers off, and then obviously Camille Claudel, a bit of a wide draw despite being down the straight.
Oh, shame. She's always got something that's not going for her along the way. So she's also got a wide draw, and that middle of the track is very heavy at the moment, so that's going to be tricky. And a filly that's a little bit in and out form-wise. I think this is probably her best trip. I think the 1000's always a bit on the sharp side for her, so I never really fancy her going into a race. She's always a tricky filly to assess, so we'll just have to wait and see with her. Flying First, good run from her last time. She just didn't quite manage to get there. She was a little bit, I wouldn't say she was really pulling, so I've taken the blinkers off this time round. I know we've got them on and off, because she actually needs them, but she can be a little bit keen with them too. So we'll try them off again this time. Looks like quite an open race, but she's doing well enough at home, and she should have a good chance there. And I'm now out of breath with all these runners. I hope that's the last.
Indeed. Thanks, Candice, and all the best.
Thank you.
It's Candice taking us through runners and some good notes and what's going to be a wonderful race meeting.